Growing a food and supplement brand, like any other business, will require commitment, street smarts, and a keen eye for consumer demand. But unlike other businesses, food and supplements add another layer of complexity because consumers will literally be consuming your products, which is why you're here, and you're likely looking for the right partner to help you through the FDA and FTC requirements, and I'd love to earn your business. So in that endeavor, I'd like to give you a snapshot of how I work with my clients, large and small, to navigate the compliance requirements so that they can continue to grow their brand, their market share, and eventually sell their business for a lucrative sum. Then I'm going to give you a quick rundown of my credentials and our secret sauce, if you will, that has really set us apart from the competition and has really helped elevate the clients we've worked with. And to cap it off, I will talk about my fee structure because I know that some of you are new to working with a consultant. You've got all the timestamps and chapters in the description down below, so feel free to skip to the parts that make sense for you. Let's go. So let's talk pre-startup. This is where you're seriously considering creating a new product or launching your brand. You may even have launched your products, but you're not yet certain if there is true market demand. And at this pre-startup stage, it's part exhilaration, part survival, and part staying within your budget as much as possible. That said, there are certain things that we can't skimp on to ensure that your business has the best shot of success, and also that you don't get sued or worse, get someone really sick. Moving on, let's talk about businesses that are officially in the startup phase. So how do I define startup? Well, it's a huge range. It can start from a very small business that has truly validated their consumer demand for their products, all the way to a business that is eyeing national expansion and has that low double-digit million-dollar range per year in annual sales. And it's here where they're starting to realize that the manufacturers and suppliers that got them here probably aren't the ones that are going to get them to the next phase in their growth. And from a compliance standpoint, they're starting to see the need to have a more autonomous quality and regulatory department and not rely so much on their manufacturers. Now let's talk about brands in the post-startup phase. At this point, these clients are already selling at the national level, possibly exploring international expansion, and have annual sales goals of capturing that elusive $100 million plus target. And these clients may also be exploring the idea of selling the business for a hefty sum. But what are clients in this post-startup phase actually looking for when working together? Well, the reality is that the clients have grown to the point where they have their own compliance department, and the need for a consultant like myself will naturally decrease compared to brands in the startup phase. However, as brands grow, the need for a compliance leader increases. And when I say leader, it's not about the day-to-day work anymore, but the leadership skills such as bridging departments together, prioritizing all the different projects against a company's annual goals, and the ability to communicate at the senior executive level. But we don't overextend ourselves, right? We tend to stay away from servicing contract manufacturers to avoid any sort of conflict of interest, nor do we handle anything like medical devices, pharma, or veterinary drugs. We also don't work with every client that approaches us. We know what our strengths are, the types of clients we like to serve, and we stick to that. I realized that compliance is a significant undertaking. It's not just label or testing. Here's a snapshot of the requirements that apply to you, even if you're just using contract manufacturers and third-party warehousing. I realize it's a lot to digest for many clients, and sometimes it's a bit of a shocker. So how can we work together, especially if you're new to the supplement and food business, or maybe you're just new to me? Well, to start, I always recommend my signature one-on-one confidential consultation sessions to dive into your current situation and business. It also gives me a really quick yet fairly accurate read as to where you're at compliance-wise, and then we can build out the next steps. And if you're just starting out, I strongly recommend this as a first step. Number 2 is an obvious one, and that is utilizing our label review services so that you don't run into any immediate distribution issues or make any illegal claims or risk getting delisted trying to sell on Amazon. To complement this, my clients may also need my service to help them formulate products, meaning that we find the right levels of ingredients from a compliance and food safety point of view, and to craft the specific wording of your claims and labels labeling to ensure it passed FDA and FTC standards. From an inventory and operations standpoint, clients understand the importance of taking the time and investment to thoroughly screen manufacturers. Finding these suppliers isn't easy and will require deeper compliance audits and having rock-solid businesses and manufacturing contracts, of which I help my clients with along with their legal team. I've been to a lot of facilities over the years and I have actually been involved in building one. It's that expertise that I bring to the table that my clients truly appreciate. And with any food or supplement operation, there are those oh crap moments, and a brand is going to need compliance expertise to help them through it. This could be anything from an Amazon delisting to unfavorable test results to working with the FDA on product recalls. These are truly unfortunate circumstances and they need help all the way through, but I do believe that these situations only makes a brand stronger. In other cases, it may mean that I am leading their compliance department or become their remote acting compliance department. And finally, we need to determine the next steps based on what stage your business is at and agree on the specific priorities to tackle. So to start, my name is Brian Yam and I've been in the supplement and food industry since 2005, where I started from ground level positions all the way up to senior executive roles for large, well-recognized brands and manufacturers. And I'm not saying this to brag, it's going to be an important point for me to come back to later on. I now consult in the food and supplement industry, specializing in compliance for US and Canadian markets, and represent several brands you'd likely recognize in large national stores. Now, I'm enjoying every second of it, and I'd love to earn your business one day. So what's our secret sauce? What is it that has set us apart and that our clients really appreciate and recognize about us? Well, for one thing, we bring to the table a very strong sense of how to scale compliance so that it's appropriate to the state and size of your business. Look, it's not hard to say what the regulations are, and many consultants can do that. However, given my work experience from doing the day-to-day grind early in my career, all the way to holding high-level positions, it has given me a very unique skill set to understand how much compliance is the right amount from a business and operational standpoint, not just from the traditional compliance standpoint. When you factor in the realities of supply chain issues, budget, employee behavior, timeframes, it's really important to know what you can do now, what is realistic, and what can be done later. The second thing that sets us apart, and this is an obvious but not so obvious one, and that is we create these videos to show you the why and the how behind dietary supplement compliance in a way that entrepreneurs and those that are new to this subject can actually understand. It's important that my clients really understand the thinking and logic as a first step of building that partnership. And it's also important to me that my clients understand this topic so that they can make the right decisions for their business and eventually keep up with the FDA and FTC without me. This is absolutely crucial. The third thing that sets us apart from the others is that the experience that we bring to you is not only unique, but it's also specialized, right? We focus on servicing brand owners in the North American food, supplement, and health product sectors. We play on our strengths here. I've seen a lot of mistakes and problems that brands have come across and how to resolve it, and better yet, how to prevent it from even happening in the first place. So now let's talk about the fee structure. If you're new to working with consultants, the fee structure can be quite odd at first, so let's dive into how we do it. There are 3 standard ways we price our services. The first one is through a flat fee service. This is applicable for certain activities that have a very clear deliverable like label review, website review, or the one-on-one consultation sessions I offer. The client knows what the prices are, they pay for the service, and the service is delivered. The second pricing structure is through a retainer service. This is where the client will buy chunks of time from us and we draw from that time as needed. For example, let's say client A purchases 20 hours from us each month. Client A one day then requests that we review a contract for them and then attend 3 phone meetings for a total of 15 hours of work. Now, as a consultant, we would simply deduct the 15 hours from the 20 hours purchased in the retainer service. The retainer arrangement is ideal for one-off requests such as answering general questions, attending supplier meetings, reviewing contracts, etc. And as you can see, it's quite a random mix of services, but essentially it gives the client access to us when they need it. The third pricing structure is a project proposal. This is where clients have a clear compliance goal, and that could include employee training. It could be reviewing labels across their entire product portfolio, or it could be generating a suite of standard operating procedures. Here, we would work with the clients to understand exactly what their needs are and their intended goal and quote on the project. Once the client signs off on that and payment is processed, we hit go. Now, I realize that many consultants and lawyers often bill their clients at the end of the month and send an invoice. Personally, I'm not a big fan of this approach. It allows for sticker shock when the client eventually sees a huge invoice at the end of the month. So instead, we do this, but in certain occasions for certain clients of which we have a long history with. So hopefully this gives you a better idea of how we could work together. If you have more questions, you can reach out to me. Otherwise, stick around, watch more videos, and absorb as much free information as possible to ensure your supplement brand has the best chance of success. All right, guys, I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.